Hey friends, I'm going to quickly share a few points that I really liked from one of the very beautiful books that I am reading with my daughters, Delisha and Akira, and that is 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. Okay, so what are the 7 habits? First habit is, I'm just going to take names, okay? Be proactive. Be proactive. It is first habit. Then is begin with the end in mind. Put first things first. Then think win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Synergize and sharpen the saw. These are the 7 habits. So be proactive. Quickly to just share that it is, don't react, respond. Respond with wisdom. Okay. Second is begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind is keep the goal in mind. Just don't do things for the sake of doing it. Then third is first things first. That is, create a priority jar. Otherwise, you will be pulled in other people's energy. Okay, so we all have our own unique journey, and we need to understand what is of worth doing, for you specifically. So you could have your own dreams, own goals. There would be something that you have committed to yourself, and you have to stand for that. Small steps every day, but for that you need to keep that in the structure. So you need to have a priority jar. Then is think win-win. Don't think win-lose, like, not on a competitive plane, but a creative plane wherein everyone is considered, whoever, whether it is, in terms of friends or a particular exam or anything in life, anything. We don't even understand. It's so subtle that we end up, having that competitive response. Okay, that I wanted, this is mine. So we need to practice to think win-win for all. Okay. Then is seek first to understand and then to be understood. Yeah. So usually what happens is we want to talk first. We want to prove our side first, and we want to, first uh, just, how what we our side of the story. We are so desperate about it, but then we need to practice the skill of listening. So always listen with respect and then respond. Okay. And then is yeah, synergize. Synergizing is practicing inclusiveness. you know uh, at times we end up being uncooperative, but then we need to practice working with people in team, right from as early as possible. So uh, it's good to practice that inclusiveness, being okay with other people the way they are, because everyone has its his or her own unique journey. So whatever I have, seen and heard and read and learned from my birth till now is my reality, and we need to respect each other's reality before we make a perception about anyone. And then the last is sharpen the saw. That is, keep learning, keep growing, keep developing yourself. It's an extraordinary habit. So, my friends, are your habits making you or breaking you? It is sooner we awaken to this reality and make small changes, the better it is. Okay, so here I am sharing a few paradigms. Paradigms is the way I see जो चश्मा है, जो लेंस है, जो पर्दा है, हम जो चश्मे से देखेंगे हमें वैसे ही दुनिया दिखेगी, है ना? So here in the book it's mentioned that either we have paradigm about self, and our entire life is run through that lens. You know, we have fixed beliefs about ourselves. Now this could be either pulling us down or uplifting. So are your perceptions about yourself uplifting you or making you feel low and less and not good enough? Then, or is it egocentric? You know, so it's time to think. Then, what is paradigms about others? At the same time, we have the fixed lens that we carry for others also, and that also makes a huge difference. And then is paradigms about life. Same is uh, about life. That is, what is the driving force for my life? What is that I spend thinking about? What are my obsessions? And what's the most important, thing to you? Like, are you, uh, there are people who are, now understand this, uh, where is my life centered? At times, our life revolves and centers around friends, and that is known as friend centered life. But that is very unstable life, because if the friend goes, your foundation is disturbed. So, should you have a friend centered life, or should you have a stuff centered life? Like, we see it through the lens of possessions, like I want to have this, I want a big bungalow or this car. It's not bad to have dreams and desires, but then if your life is centered to that, if that is taken away, or if you are unable to reach there, it is going to shake you, right? It's going to keep you in survival mode and craving and anxious. So the next is, boyfriend or girlfriend centered life, or the partner centered life. Now, this is what, I made a mistake also, wherein I centered my entire life around my partner. Now, I'm not talking about whether, you know, uh, it's good, bad, right, wrong, but yeah, there were consequences, because there are times when, if the partner is not respectful, not cooperative, not supportive, you feel shaken. You feel shaken. So, should it be girlfriend or boyfriend centered? Certainly not. Okay, think about it, and right now I have covered friend centered, stuff centered, girlfriend boyfriend centered, school centered. Yes, at times, it's like too much of anything is not good. So uh, if it is all about, accomplishments, good marks, and your life revolves around it, uh, then you forget that the only purpose to go to school is to learn and implement your learnings in life, and not the show off, not the accomplishments. So school centered, and then is parent centered. Parent centered is also just to please the parents and make them happy, or fulfill them. But then if they don't approve you, you feel shaken and not good enough. So is it worthwhile center your entire life around that? Certainly not. You can be respectful, you can respect their opinions, but then you need to make a firm choice for yourself, because we all have our own unique journey, and we are born with a purpose which no one else can understand but you. And then is it could be sports and hobbies centered or hero centered or enemy centered, like you waste your life after revenge. I mean, it's, is it worthwhile, or work centered, or self centered? um so, like, your life revolves around you and your problems. So certainly it's going to be really disgusting, right? So there is a fine thin line between having a passion for something and basing your entire existence on it. Okay, so mm, we can strive to become excellent, but we need to be wise enough to actually center our life around the real thing, and that's principle centered life. Yes, if we or our coming generation, if we really need to pass this on to them, and if we want them to have a happy and stable life with a strong foundation, we need to understand this first, and then we can pass this on to our next generation, and that is principle centered life. Okay, and behind, because the principles never fail. When I started living my life from this one choice, that it's all about being happy and having faith and belief and centering to the supreme consciousness and the purpose of extreme ease and clarity and peace that I feel from there. So I highly recommend you to understand this. I'm just reading it out for you, my friends. I hope you get it. Yeah. So this is the most stable and immovable, unshakable foundation you can build upon. So uh, the key to excelling in all other centers is the principles of service, respect, and love. What's the principle in play here? For every problem, search for the principle that will help you to solve it. Principle of balance, principle of honesty, principle of love, principle of kindness. So, yeah, it takes faith to live by principles, especially when you see people close to you get ahead in life by lying and cheating and indulging and manipulating and serving only themselves. What you don't see, however, is that breaking principles always catches up to them in the end. Take the principles of honesty. If you are a big liar, you may be able to get by for a while, even for a few years. But you had be hard pressed to find a liar who achieved success over the long haul. As Cecil B. DeMille observed about his classic movie, The Ten Commandments, it is possible for us to break the law. We can only break ourselves against the law. Unlike all the other centers we have looked at, principles will never fail you. They will never gossip behind your back. They don't move away. They don't suffer career ending injuries, and they don't play favorites based on skin color and gender and wealth or appearance. A principle centered life is simply the most stable, immovable, unshakable foundation you can build upon. And we all need one of those. To grasp why principles always work, just imagine living a life based on their opposites. A life of dishonesty and laziness and indulgence and ingratitude and selfishness and hate. I can't imagine any good things coming out of that. Can you? Ironically, living a principle centered life is key to excelling in all the other centers. If you live the principles of service and respect and love, for instance, you are likely to pick up more friends and be a more stable boyfriend or girlfriend. And putting principles first is also the key to becoming a person of character. Decide today to make principles your core life center or paradigm. In whatever situation you find yourself, ask, what's the principle in play here? For every problem, search for the principle that will help you solve it. If you are feeling worn out and beaten up by life, perhaps you should try the principle of balance. If you find no one trusts you, the principle of honesty might just be the cure you need. In the story, Loyalty to a Brother by Walter McPeak, loyalty was the principle in play. Yeah, so we need to just take baby steps towards it and practice this. So I'll just read these baby steps for you. With the commitment that we remind and consistently remind to center our entire life and help our children do that as well, to center entire life around principles, principles of love, honesty, balance, kindness, support, whatever means to you. It could be just happiness and peace. So the next time you look into the mirror and say something, show appreciation for someone's point of view. Today, say something like, hey, that's a cool idea. Think of a limiting paradigm you might have of yourself, such as, I will never be outgoing. Now, do something today that totally contradicts the paradigm, because it's the perception you have made for yourself. It's not real. So break it. Do something that will break it. Think of a loved one or close friend who has been acting out of character lately and consider what might be causing them to act that way. When you have nothing to do, what is it that occupies your thoughts? Remember, whatever is most important to you will become your paradigm or life center. What occupies my time and energy? The golden rules. Begin today to treat others as you would want them to treat you. Don't be impatient. Complain about what's for the dinner or badmouth someone, and unless you want the same treatment. Sometime soon, find a quiet place where you can be alone and think about what matters most to you. Listen carefully to the lyrics of the music you listen to most frequently. Consider if they are in harmony with the principles you believe in, or you're just following and going with the crowd. When you do your course at home or work tonight, try out the principle of hard work. Go the extra mile and do more than is expected. The next time you are in a tough situation and don't know what to do, ask yourself, what principle should I apply? And that is honesty or love or loyalty or hard work or patience. Follow that principle and don't look back. So that's it for today. I hope uh, that was helpful. I enjoyed sharing it with you, and I hope it makes a difference for you and the next generation that is surrounded by each one of us. And it's our duty and responsibility to pass on these teachings, these valuable learnings to them. Together, divine change, order now. Thank you so much. God bless. This is Pallavi Alap Deshpande Castival. Well, I'm a magician. Uh, I hold my name in Limca Book of Records as youngest magician of India. And at the same time, I completed my master's from All India Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehab Center way back in 2005-6. And then I became a Pranic Healer, and I am into working on the subconscious mind. I, I wrote a book by the name the door to confidence opens here. You can consider buying that as well. And at the same time, I have done a lot of self-development programs because I really believe in consistently sharpening the axe. So, and I recommend, highly recommend it uh, to each one of you, that whatever income you are learning, make sure that some part of it goes for self-development. It really makes a difference. So thank you so much. Keep blessing, and God bless. Do subscribe the channel if you are yet to, and do share your comment about this video. Thank you so much.